Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are doing very well. Anyways, for context, I have been doing a lot of Blaze Slayer, and my goal is to get Blaze Slayer to level 9. And in that, I have discovered many things. I've learned so much things throughout my Blaze journey, and in today's video, I will be basically sharing some tips. But this will be very specific because when you're doing Blaze Slayer, you have two options. You can do with SAFESPOT, or you can basically do it on the ground. Now, with SAFESPOT, I don't really have a problem with that, right? People can do that and it's a thing, right? I don't have any problem with that, let me set this straight. But, I'm not gonna lie, safe spots kind of make you look, less cool because it's a safe spot, But, yeah, I would prefer to do it on the ground and without a safe spot because it just looks cooler and basically you have more swag. So yeah, basically in today's video I'll be giving you guys some tips on how you can do Blaze Slayer on the ground more comfortably. There's some interesting things that I discovered and some things that you can use, definitely. But disclaimer, there's gonna be things that I may not struggle with, but you struggle with. So with that in mind, if you guys find something that you struggle with and you don't find the tips in this video, please do leave a comment. I will be sure to respond to them and I will try my best to help you guys. Okay, so before I get into the tips, I'm going to be mentioning that this is not a Blaze guide. I will not be making a Blaze guide because there's already a very good Blaze guide made by Fire. I will link his channel and his video down in the description down below. If you guys ever need any, gear progression or a general Blaze guide, you can go look into his videos. You can literally just go into this video right now. You don't have to watch my video. This is purely tips for you guys who want to do blazes without safe spots. Okay, anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into it. For the first tip that I have, it is regarding the demon split phase, which is when the boss splits into two demons. Now the tip I'm going to be giving you is basically a way to manipulate the demon spawn location, and you can use this to your own advantage. Now for this tip, I like to use it to avoid elevated surfaces or narrow spaces. The reason I want to avoid these two is because when the demons spawn, sometimes they can get a little quirky and their pathing is kind of weird, and if I spawn them in an elevated surface or in a narrow space, they can become very unpredictable. So it is always best for me to kind of just manipulate their spawns and lure them into open spaces and even grounds. Okay, so I have a tier 3 boss right here and I'm going to demonstrate you on how you can manipulate the demon split spawns. Basically, it's pretty simple. Where the boss is looking matters a lot, right? So the boss currently is looking here, and if I get them into the demon split phase, it will spawn the demons on its right and on its left. It is always going to be like that, and it depends on where the boss is looking. So right now, if I make the boss look this direction, basically to me, and I get them into the demon split phase, it's going to spawn on its right and on its left. Now, the way the spawn works is the wither skeleton always spawns to its right side and the zombie pigman always spawns to its left side, and it never changes, right? It never changes. It's always like that, and yeah, that is that simple. Okay, so let me show you a little example. Sometimes I like to do the boss here, and when the demons kind of get into this elevated surfaces, they kind of get a little quirky and they move slowly, and it kind of just ruins your time, and sometimes it's also very unpredictable, right? So if I just kind of just do the boss like this, yeah, you see the big man's right there. Yeah, look at that. it just kind of get everywhere, and he has to kind of drop down first before yeah, and the knockback is weird and all that, and yeah, sometimes I like to just go back a little bit, and then I like to spawn them like this. I just spawn them here, so they're always under here, and I don't need to worry about climbing surfaces or whatnot, and I have to, I don't want to jump and just waste time, so I like to just spawn them on the even grounds, and it is very much the best option for me. It's just so much less hassle, and I can kill the boss easily. I dropped to 51 seconds. I usually do 45 seconds And yeah, I think some of it's probably because I'm explaining while I'm doing it, but you get my point. Like, you already see it. The pigment just gets like, it gets stuck here, and sometimes if I do the boss around this area, they climb up here, and then it takes a while for them to get down. And if I jump, sometimes I will get into the fire trail and take a lot of damage, right? Sometimes if you're doing the boss, it's just always best like to just avoid this. Don't make it like on the side of the boss. You can just scoop in, and like you make the boss look at you from here, and the demons will spawn on its left and on its right, and it spawns here. It spawns on the even grounds. You don't have to worry about it going up, going down, and it's taking a lot of time. Yeah, it's that simple. Okay, so for my next tip, I have this guy over here to help me. So this is the Wither Skeleton Demon. I kind of forgot his name. But anyways, he has this rotating laser, right? So you can avoid this by just jumping, or you can just run around him. Yeah, it's just like easy ways to avoid, right? But some people don't know that you can just TP through it. And that is basically the fastest way you can avoid this. But for me, I have a very high ping, and sometimes when I TP through it, it's kind of like wacky, and I don't TP where I want my TP to be. So another option I can do is combine jumping and TPing. I basically jump to have more vision of, the mini boss, or whatever you call this, the demons. And then I can TP to basically cancel my falling animation, so I can go down faster and I save more time. That is basically one of the most efficient for me. I can still TP through, but I kind of risk dying with that. And yeah, it is that simple. This step should be common knowledge, but I know that some people only, they jump over it, and jumping is not the most efficient. It can be good for like early, if you're doing early blazes, like you're still learning, yeah, that's fine. But once you start, worrying about your time and all that, you're going to want to start TPing, and that is very important. For the next tip that I have, it is very much regarding the visibility of Blaze Slayer. Now, if you have ever tried Blaze Slayer with particles on, you will know that it is basically kind of like unplayable. Some people can probably get through it, but it is always recommended to have your particles off. And that is because Blaze Slayer is basically like a fireworks show. So the tip that I'm going to give you is pretty much more intuitive than the other ones, but I don't see a lot of people doing this, so I'm going to mention it anyway. And it is pretty much doing this. You change your perspective to this one. You can click F5 or whatever button you assign it to, but it is this simple, right? Some people don't even understand this, and like some people struggle with, doing it in first person. But doing this, it opens up your vision so much. I am telling you, you can see the fire pillar, you can see the boss much clearer, you can see the name tag with all of the information on it, and also you can avoid many things, right? You can avoid many things. You see the fire grid spawning, and you can just walk backwards and you know where you are, instead of being in first person and sometimes you don't notice it and you die, And yeah, it is pretty much this simple. You just go into this F5 mode, not this one, and you just do the boss like this. But for me, I like to do the Demonsplit phase in first person because I know how far I am to their, to their attacks, and I like that better. But I've seen some people do it in F5, and that's fine. That's fine. If that's their preferences, that's totally fine. Okay, so right now I'm going to be turning on my particles, and you will see what I mean by, being a fireworks show. So if I kill this, it will spawn the boss. And you can see that there is so much things going on that I can barely see the name tag, right? I can even barely see the name tag, and if I kill the boss, I go, into Demonsplit phase. There's gonna be much more things, and it's like, your brain cannot handle all of these things all together, and sometimes, they get in the way of certain things. Yeah, if I do the boss on F5 mode, you can see how much better it is. I can see the name tag, I can see the things surrounding me, I can see how much health it has. I'm sorry, I have my name tag on, don't worry about that. But yeah, if you don't have your name tag on, you can see how much health the boss has. And I can do this. I can literally do that. I can avoid those grids pretty easily. And yeah, that is basically the tip. I'm going to be finishing this boss real quick. Give me a second. yeah, basically look at those grids, the fire grids. I can avoid that easily. And I just finished the boss. It's that easy, it's that simple. Hello, I am back on my island. And for the last tip that I have, you guys are probably not gonna like this, but it is practice. Yeah, is practice. Now let me clarify. These Slayer bosses, especially the Blaze Slayer, relies heavily on pattern recognition. The pattern will vary a lot from player to player due to their differences in damage. And your pattern is basically pretty much kind of unique to you, on like how the attunements kind of go, you know, the timings, the pillar timings, and sometimes you can even skip the pillar. And that's what I've been doing, right? Like I've come to a point where I can do so much damage where the pillar don't even spawn, right? But when you're learning Blaze, you will learn your own pattern, right? The way you like to do things, the way, you know, where you want to spawn them, how you want to spawn them, that is all you, and you have to do practice. The first 3 tips that I gave are kind of, you know, something that most people don't really use, or some people don't even know, but a lot of things that I learned is all from pattern recognition. And once you start recognizing those patterns, you can basically kind of turn off a part of your brain that functions, you know, as like this thing where it keeps your focus on the boss. And when you get used to it, you don't even have to focus, right? You can just turn off your brain and then your autopilot will do everything for you. So yeah, that should be all of the tips that I have for you guys. This is kind of a short video, and I am doing this because right now, yeah, I am doing Blaze Slayer, and I have a couple things that I want to share with you guys, and that is basically what I put in this video. And I know some people probably don't know these, but a lot of people probably know this because they've been doing a lot of blazes. So yeah, this is basically the whole point of the video. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learned something from it. But if you guys still have any questions, or if you guys are still struggling with the boss, especially on the ground, please do leave a comment down below. I will try my best to help you guys when I have the time. And it is always my pleasure to reply to all of these comments because it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel good. I want to help people out, and that is basically my life goals. And yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something from it. I think I've said this before. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day. I hope you guys have a nice rest of the year. Thank you for watching.